Hello, welcome to module number 5, IT Project Management and Implementation. Before I preview this topic, I did want to take a step back and review quickly what we did last week in module 4. Module 4 was on IT funding decisions. We did talk about the fact that companies do invest in IT projects for a variety of reasons. I believe we talked about in one reading 6 different types of categories of IT investments. And so I think one of the lessons out of this is that when you're looking at IT funding proposals, you have to look at the whole picture. So ROI is certainly an important aspect of whether a project gets funded or not, but you also have to look at other factors, more qualitative factors. You know, some projects may simply be mandatory, government regulations, maybe infrastructure upgrades, things like that, you just have to do. So, you know, ROI may not be, that's important, may not come into play as much in the decision. We had the one reading in Adventures of an IT Leader where we see where they had not funded a security upgrade. And so when we get into the last module on security, we're going to see where that becomes a problem because they never did fund that project. But that was really a mandatory type project. And so finally, we just talked about building a business case for IT projects, that it's important to tell the whole picture. So there's the financial story, and there's also what's called the strategic business case, which is really would include qualitative factors, factors that are not tangible numbers, but nevertheless part of the whole picture. So when you build a business case for an IT project, you need to give the whole story, which is the financial side as well as the more the qualitative side as well. Okay, so that leads us to module 5, which is IT project management and implementation. So it really gets down to the question of why do so many IT projects fail? Why are so many IT projects delayed in terms of time, cost? They don't meet requirements. They're not used. People resist the technology. So there are lots and lots of statistics on just the large number of IT projects that fail and the money that goes down the tubes because these projects fail. So we're going to start by talking about the systems development life cycle. So it's a life cycle that all projects go through, and it will help us to, if you're not familiar with this, to really see one of the big lessons from this is that there are certain things that need to be done through the life of a project. So, for example, analysis, requirements analysis, that you really can't cut corners on. So understanding the SDLC, or the systems development life cycle, will help us to better understand the types of things that need to be done when trying to develop and roll out new technologies. So we'll look at that. We'll also talk about decisions on when you're acquiring technologies. It's better to build it yourself, so you develop your own software, you buy it from a vendor, a package, or do you get someone else to build it for you, outsourcing, even software as a service, so cloud-based delivery mechanisms. So we'll talk about the pros and cons of each of those and when to do each. We'll get then into IT project management, so looking really at why projects fail, why they run into problems. We have a good article on that really boils IT project failures down into 4 basic reasons: people, process, product, or technology. So we'll look at that, and then we'll tie that to, we'll do a case, the Maine Medicaid, which is a real situation. The state of Maine tried to custom develop a new Medicaid system that failed miserably. We'll look at that to help illustrate really poor project management practices. Then we'll look at an interesting case, Amagansett Funds, which is a Harvard case. It's about a failed CRM implementation, and the CRM package was purchased from a vendor, top-notch vendor, top-notch package, but it still failed. And it really gets to the issue of change management. They failed in the change management area, and so people just didn't use it. They resisted its use. So we'll talk about that. And that should pretty much do it for that. So This is very, I think of the 5 modules, this is probably the one that probably touches on you the most because many of you have been involved, both from the IT side and from a user side in implementing projects that sometimes are challenging. So hope you enjoy the readings and we'll talk more. Thank you.